Alright, what's going on, dudes, and welcome back to Minecraft. No, your eyes do not deceive you. That is a nether portal that appears to be circular. The reason why I say it appears to be circular is because it wasn't quite as straightforward as putting down some obsidian blocks and lighting it up with flint and steel. But nonetheless, it is fully functional. It is in the shape of a circle. I can walk on through it, go into the nether. Unfortunately, on the other side, it's not circular. It's just a regular nether portal. But I can head back, and I'll plop on down into the water, and the portal still exists. So let me actually show you how this is done, because I'd imagine you may be wondering. So this concept was introduced in the latest few snapshots, and this guy called Killer Creeper, that's his YouTube channel, made a video on using these minecarts and rotating them in order to create circles and spheres. And I'll link his video in the description because this is where I first saw this. But I thought I'd take the concept and I'd apply it to make a circular nether portal. So the basic idea is that you have this command here, and I'll go through it really quickly from the beginning. What you have is a summon command, and you're going to summon a minecart, except rather than just having a minecart, you're going to tell it to place a block inside of it. But the block isn't actually inside, it's sort of floating above the minecart. So I'm summoning a rideable minecart. These are just my coordinates for this test location. And then I'm going to tell it that I want to display a block inside of it. That's the custom display tile :1. Then I tell it that I want the block to be obsidian. Obsidian's value is 49. And I tell it that the data value of the obsidian is 0. I just want it to be regular obsidian. And then I tell it that I want it to display the block 40 units. I'm not sure exactly what the unit measurement is, but in this particular scenario, I'm telling it I want it to display the block 40 units above the location of the minecart. And I'm going to apply a rotation of the rotation. It's sort of arbitrary at the moment. You'll see where it ends up. And the two F's right there just designate a certain way that the minecart is facing. So anyway, I'm going to tell it that I want to summon a minecart. The minecart's going to have an obsidian block in it, and it's going to be 40 units above the minecart in this case, and it's not really going to have any discernible rotation on it. However, what I can do is I can adjust this rotation. So right now it's 0 in this direction. If I put a 1 there, change it to 10, press it again, you'll notice that it rotates by, I don't know if it's 10 degrees or 10 units, but it rotates it nonetheless. I can change it to 20, and you can see where I'm going with this. It'll keep applying a rotation here. If I go to 30 here, then press it again, it'll keep rotating and rotating. If I want to make it farther away from the minecart, I can change the display offset to, I don't know, like 100 or so, and then it'll display farther away out there. In the case of the portal, I have it set to 85 units away. Again, not entirely sure what the units mean. But next up, I just went into, once I had this full circle completed, which is done using all these command blocks, and all these command blocks simply, the command is exactly the same with one little difference, and that is this value right here where it says 50. It's then 110. It just, each of these command blocks in each of these rows goes 0, then it goes 10, then it goes 20, 30, etc., all the way down to 350. And then there was a little bit of a weirdness at each 90-degree increment where I had to add a little block at 85 and 175 and 265 and 355 just to smooth out some strange little gaps that were happening. But it appears to be a cool full circle, despite the fact that it's really just little increments of squares. When you make enough of them, it appears to be a full circle. It's sort of like integration in calculus, how you use really tiny little areas, and you add up all the parts, and it makes it seem like it's the full area of a curve, despite it being... Anyway, I'm getting beyond what's actually necessary to understand here. So what I've done is I've taken this concept here, I've made the full ring around, and then you may be wondering why there are little gaps here with the nether portal. That's because I actually had to go into MC Edit to create the portal to sort of loosely fit within the the confines of the ring that was created. There are a bunch of minecarts right here in the circle, and if I bring them out of my vision, then the ring will disappear. So I'm just trying to get it out of my vision to show you the Nether portal. So I created it in MC Edit just so it sort of fits within the boundaries of the ring. It's not entirely perfect, and you may be wondering why I didn't use this same concept to create the portal. So I could do that. The value of a portal is 90, so I spawn mine right there. The problem is it's not actually functional. So I walk on through it, and whee, it just went flying. Let me destroy those minecarts really quickly. So unfortunately, while it would look much prettier if I did use this same thing in order to make the portal, it wouldn't actually work. So I figured that a functional Nether portal was more important than one that looked perfectly circular. So I went with the MC Edit strategy there. But anyway, the final thing here that's making the portal work is this little command block, which what it's doing is every time that it receives a signal, it's clearing all the non-player type entities that are in the location of these minecarts here. So this whole ring is actually being created and deleted, well, like a couple times a second here, every time a redstone pulse happens. And the reason is because you may have noticed that while I spawned some minecarts over here that were at certain angles, when I came back a few seconds later, they were all gone. The only one that was still there was the one that was facing straight up. So if I leave this portal here, if I leave the obsidian ring for too long without refreshing it, all of the minecarts except for the one facing straight up will actually disappear. So that's why I went ahead and applied this refresh to it, where it clears all the blocks and then refreshes them by applying a signal to all these command blocks down here, and just basically resets the ring a couple times a second. I could have done it more infrequently. The problem would be then that when I enter the Nether and come back out again, it wouldn't necessarily instantly refresh the ring around the obsidian ring, which would mean you just have this ugly non-outlined Nether portal here until the next refresh happens. So that's why I decided to do it just a couple times a second. Doesn't really impact performance at all, and just makes things run much more smoothly. And finally, over here, I just have some command blocks that are outputting which magic particles around the portal, hence all the purple things. So just decided to spice it up a little bit, make it a little bit more interesting by throwing those particles around. Thought it looked a bit cooler and more mysterious, and I don't know. the particles are optional. Yeah, but that's the basic gist of it. Just spawning a bunch of minecarts with obsidian tile entities above them, and it just seems to keep wanting to rain here. and then rotate those minecarts in a circle, and you got a ring. And then MC Edit, place a portal inside, use some slash particle commands to get some particles, and you're good to go. So yeah, that does it right there. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, a rating would be much appreciated. Yeah, but that's about it. Thanks for watching. And I'll include a download link for the map in the description if you want to mess around with it. And I'll see you next time.